Pain and loss, ladies and gentlemen, that's the subject of today's video, and I'll tell you what, pain and loss has been a part of Doctor Who since its very inception. Back in the first episode, we learn that the Doctor and Susan have been they've been cut off, haven't they, from their world. So they've got that loss. We've got Barbara and Ian, who in the first story, they lose their home, their friends, their family, their whole way of life when they get taken off by the Doctor to all sorts of different places. The TARDIS suffers a loss in the first ever story, with its loss of its chameleon circuits, the fact that that breaks. So loss has always and will always be a part of Doctor Who. Loss and departures, people, ladies and gentlemen. And I think it's most keenly felt, by the Doctor when it comes to the loss and the departures of his companions. I think it's most keenly felt by him with Donna and with Zoe and Jamie. Now, the idea of Donna's departure and loss being more important than the loss that the Doctor feels when Rose leaves at the end of Doomsday was first given to me by a friend of mine, Natalie, and she pointed out that Donna and the Doctor, they didn't have any feelings for each other. They felt nothing for each other like that. They were just best friends. They were really good friends. Donna kept him grounded, because if he wasn't grounded, then he did all sorts of naughty stuff, like killing the Sycorax and the Vacnos. That's the one, the Vacnos. But yeah, so they kept him grounded, and the fact is that Rose effectively lives happily ever after, She gets the man, sort of, with the Metacrisis Doctor, and she is still alive. She can still remember her travels with the Doctor. Donna cannot. Donna can't remember a single thing about him. She has got nothing to do with the Doctor anymore. No sort of memories of the Doctor. Nothing. She is back to that self-centered, loud person who we met in The Runaway Bride. She was changed so much by her travels with the Doctor, and that is all gone. So yes, I agree with her. I agree with my friend. That is more painful. That is more heartbreaking than the Doctor's loss of Rose. The Doctor could just go and smash open the walls of reality and catch up with her. He won't, but he could. He doesn't have that option with Donna. He's got nothing with Donna anymore. That's all gone. And that is heartbreaking, to be honest. Second point. Zoe and Jamie. At the end of the War Games, after the Doctor he's been on the run from his people for years and years and years, he is finally forced to call for their help, because the end of the War Games makes it obvious that it is beyond even his help to get everybody back to where they need to be. So he calls for their help, and then he runs again. He doesn't want to go back to them, because he knows that he will be put on trial. And he will be punished for running away, for interfering in the lives of others. So he runs away, but he can't escape. The Time Lords have found him now, and he can't get away. And so he's put on trial. And it is decided that he will be exiled and be given a new life. He will be given a new face. He will be forced to regenerate, but he can't take his companions with him. His companions, Zoe and Jamie. Jamie has been with the Doctor, the Second Doctor, since the Second Doctor's first story, The Highlanders. He has been with him this whole time. They are both told they must go back. And so they are taken off in these Sidrats, which are like TARDISes but not quite. And they are taken back to their correct time and place in history and the universe. And they go back fully expecting to still remember. To still remember the adventures, their time with the Doctor. And the Time Lords don't do that. They wipe the memory, so that all they will remember is the first adventure, the first story with the Doctor. Zoe is broken free of... She has evolved, she's changed, they all have. Zoe and Jamie, they all, especially Jamie. Jamie's been with the Doctor for so long. He's changed, he has evolved, he's bettered himself. And that, once again, that all, like with Donna, that all goes back. That all gets wiped out. And the Doctor knows this. And perhaps the most heartbreaking thing is, he gives them a little wave at the end, and he's not even allowed time to grieve for the loss of his companions. He's not. Because as soon as they've gone, it's time for him to be sentenced. And I just think that's heartbreaking, you know? The Doctor has spent all this time with these people, and they don't know him now. I think that's heartbreaking. I think that's more heartbreaking than anything. You know, Zoe and Jamie, like I say, they've evolved, they've changed, and it all goes back. I mean, as soon as Jamie lands back in his time zone, he's shot at. And he doesn't... There's a moment in the War Games when he and a redcoat, who he's supposed to hate, who he's supposed to fight and want dead, he joins forces with, and he helps escape with. And that's all gone. That will never happen again. Because Jamie is regressed back to his violent, Scottish nature. He's regressed back to the time he should have been like that. And that's heartbreaking, I find. I do. I would even go so far as to say it's the most heartbreaking departure there is in Doctor Who. You're more than welcome to disagree with me, that's fine. But for me, Jamie and Zoe are the most heartbreaking departures and losses in the Doctor's life. When it comes to his companions, I mean, obviously, you know, the loss of his planet was quite, I imagine, quite heart-wrenching. But yeah, so I was going to do a video about the Showmasters organisation and my problems with the problems I have with their organisation, why I don't do that anymore. But that, I'm saving that for another time. I wanted to do this because it is, I think, it's an interesting topic, I think, to discuss about loss and departure, and the fact that it's been around since the beginning of the show. It's a sad thought, to be honest, when you think about it. The Doctor loses so much in his long life. He loses so much, and there's nothing he can do about it. It's as inevitable as the crushing of the waves upon the sea. Yes, well, that's it. That's all I've got to say on the matter. I hope you've been enjoying this, and please let me know what you think down below in the comments, and please subscribe, rate, do whatever you want with my videos, but please, let's hear from you. Bye bye.